And when they were up, they were up. And when they were down, they were down. And when they were only halfway up, they were neither up nor down. We'll never know which Duke of York this historic English nursery rhyme refers to, but its lyrics paint an eerie depiction of a football club based in East Anglia. East Anglia is, analytically, the arse end of England. Within the region of East Anglia is the fine city of Norwich.
I'm Jack Reeve, I'm the founder of Talk Norwich City, and I support Norwich City because I'm from Norfolk and there is no other option.
Chris Reeve, Talk Norwich City, because it's my local club. If you cut me open, I bleed yellow and green.
Norwich is a fine city. We're very lucky to be where we're from. It's incredibly difficult to get to. In Norfolk, Norwich City are the only professional club, and that's quite rare. If you're from London, if you're from up north, there's so much choice. Everyone around here is rooting for the same cause. We've got plenty of history. It's a family club. It supports the community hugely. It's just incredibly unique, and I think we're really proud of that.
Founded in 1902, Norwich City were first promoted to the top tier of English football 70 years later. In 1992, they were a founding member of the Premiership, and in the very first season of Premiership football, Norwich finished third. It was liquid football. But the liquid ran out. 1995, Gangster's Paradise dominates the UK charts, and Norwich City are relegated from the Premier League. There's nothing coolio about that. 2004, Norwich find a way back into the Premier League. This time, they finished second. Bottom. Sorry. They were relegated immediately. Norwich City then got themselves back into the Premier League in 2011, and this is where it gets quite repetitive, so feel free to zone out. In 2014, Norwich City were relegated from the Premier League. In 2015, Norwich City were promoted back into the Premier League. In 2016, Norwich City were relegated from the Premier League. In 2019, Norwich City were promoted back into the Premier League. In 2020, Norwich City were relegated from the Premier League. In 2021, Norwich City were promoted back into the Premier League. And in 2022, Norwich City were relegated from the Premier League. 2024, which is where we are now, thank goodness, Norwich City are in the playoffs and therefore have a strong chance of being promoted back to the Premier League. Here is a turnstile at Norwich City, and another. Why are Norwich referred to as a yo-yo club? Is it because you really like children's toys?
No, it's because we go up and down the leagues, trying our best to succeed, spending what we can within our means to try to be the best football club we can be.
We often discuss the financial divide within the Premier League table. Manchester City's squad value is that of around £800 million, whereas Luton Town spent £5.5 million assembling their squad. But what about the gap between the Premier League and the Championship? The Premier League generates billions of pounds each season in broadcast revenue. So if you're relegated from the Premier League, you suddenly lose access to a lot of money, which is why in 2006, parachute payments were introduced to English football. Why did the Premier League give you parachutes when you got relegated? You know, surely they needed to read the room. You'd just been relegated. You didn't need gifts.
Well, where does it begin? We're a self-funded club. We need the money to reinvest. We've not got a sugar daddy at the top of the tree. So it's really important that Norwich, again, try to do things the right way. Lee.
Hang on, so they didn't give you actual parachutes? Parachute payments were brought in to limit the risk of a club going into administration post-relegation after enduring the financial demands of the Premier League. Essentially, when a Premier League club is relegated, in that first season they receive 55% of what they would have brought in on the Premier League's basic TV money deal. In the second season, they get 45%. And if they've been in the Premier League for more than one season, in the third year post-relegation, they'll get a further 20%. Norwich City have received £186 million in parachute payments since 2015. They've been relegated 4 times. just to throw some context at you, not literally, the Premier League has a £100 million annual budget for all the other English football clubs in what they call solidarity payments. So if you get parachute payments, you get a lot more money basically.
I think we all want to see equality. How that system is created, I'm not sure. We're seeing it already, aren't we? You know, Burnley, Sheffield United, Luton going up, probably coming back down. The flip side of who've come down are probably going straight back up. We have been, I guess, fortunate in a sense that we've been caught up in a system that helps propel us forwards.
We need to receive the parachute payments, Neve, because the gap is getting bigger and bigger to survive in the Premier League. We need a little bit of help, and that's okay because we're trying to do it the right way, Neve.
Yeah. So what is the right way?
The right way is to be self-funded, spend within your means. I think that's the right way.
The goal is to ensure that the gap between the top 20 in English football and the rest doesn't become so big that these guys are unable to build a bridge to get to that top 20 unless they've already been there before. So that stories like Luton Town can keep happening year upon year upon year, no matter how much the Premier League generates.
Do you prefer the journey into the Premier League, or do you prefer being in the Premier League?
Well, I have to say, I think I'm in the minority of this. Norwich City, it's the David versus Goliath. Surely you've seen the Norwich 3, Manchester City 2, Neve. It was an epic, iconic day. That David versus Goliath is why I support Norwich. Us against them, a properly run football club versus a club that's just a bit soulless.
What is going on? What is going on? I cannot believe. I will admit, I've wrote us off. I think most people in the stadium wrote us off. The neutrals wrote us off. The pundits wrote us off. And you know what? I'm fed up of the disrespect of this football club.
That win, I will remember for the rest of my life.
So what do you think, guys? Would you decrease the amount of money given in parachute payments to increase the amount given in solidarity payments to the whole English pyramid? Or do you think parachute payments are fair and a way to protect football clubs, but also solidarity payments should increase too? Do you have another suggestion in how we can maintain balance, sustainability and security of football clubs in the long term? The billions of pounds that the Premier League generates, how much of that do they deserve to keep, or should they be giving more of it away? Let me know what you guys think. We'll take this discussion to the comment section and I will see you in the next video.
Have you ever bought a cookbook from a rival chef to Delia Smith?
I'm not sure if you know, Neve. I know you're from further up north, but if you're born in Norfolk, it's one of the rules. It can't happen.
You're not allowed.
No. And if you walk around the local bookshops here, all rival cookbooks have been banned. Only Delia Smith's on show.
So what's the protocol if Jamie Oliver's book was in a bookstore?
They get shut down immediately, the police turn up, and if you were to buy that book, you get moved out of the county.
Passionate.